Guys, you're not going to want to miss this video. How I won £100,000 worth of watches. And I'm going to tell you everything I did, and maybe you can replicate what I did. Part of the replication is having some luck. I'm not going to lie to you. There's no cheat in the system. You need to be lucky. But I'll tell you how I did it. How does someone win £100,000 worth of watches? So I won 4 watch raffle competitions, and I'm going to tell you how I did it, which competitions I entered. Like, subscribe, let's get into it. Now, these watches here, this is part of my current collection. I wanted to show them to you, but these aren't the watches that I won. The watches that I won, I'm telling you about things that happened. The first watch I won was in December 2019. Now, what happened is I was on Instagram and I saw a page called Luxury Competitions UK. They were selling tickets for a raffle to win a Batman. And I'd seen something on Dragon's Den, or if you're in America, Shark Tank, the English equivalent is Dragon's Den, where people basically have these companies that do these competitions, and basically it's like gambling. You buy a ticket and you hope to win, but they get around the gambling laws by making it a skills-based competition by having a question. And it's a question that anyone, like, which watch is in the picture? Oh, it's a Rolex Submariner. Tick the Rolex Submariner button. Do you know what I mean? It's not much skill involved. You can always Google as well if you didn't know. So, but that's basically it's gambling, isn't it, really? But they get around the gambling laws because it's hard to do a gambling company without loads of licenses and stuff. But it's a skill. So on a technicality, it's a skills-based competition. Anyway, so on the 15th of December, previously had bought a ticket. I bought one ticket, and they sold 600 tickets. And lo and behold, I won. Unbelievable. Absolute madness. What did I win? I won the Batman on the Oyster bracelet. And wow, I was absolutely buzzing. In order to get the watch, I got the train actually. I got the train up to Manchester. The guys that ran the competition were from Manchester. I'm from London. I got the train up there and got to meet them. They presented me the watch, and boy, I was, as you can imagine, so happy. This was before I had any of these watches here in this case. All this came about after. I didn't have any of these. My watch journey has just sort of begun, and so winning a Rolex GMT was just mind-boggling to me. I'd never won anything really before in my life. So I went up, picked the watch. Here's some video footage of that.
Who's it gonna be? Let's go. Stuart Carter from the UK. If you're watching, Stuart, congratulations. You've just won yourself a Rolex Batman GMT.
How it works is you buy a ticket, and then there's these third-party companies called like randomdraws.com, and they use this third party to select the winner because this third party's independently verified, yada, yada, yada. They sort of download the spreadsheet of entries into Random Draws, and then Random Draws randomly selects one. And, you know, the main thing how these businesses work is it's all based on trust. No, not trust. It has to be, if people don't trust, they're not going to buy a ticket. But because when they do the draw, they video everything, they show you everything, it helps build trust. And so if you're on, they live stream when they're doing the draw, and they show you what they're doing, yada, yada, yada. So anyway, I won, I went and collected it, amazing. And most stories would end there. However, I just won a Rolex, and they do a competition every month or so. So I had to buy a ticket for the next one. Well, the next one came and went, and I didn't win. But then there was another competition. Oh, we might as well get a couple of tickets. You never know. I'd won. I'm a believer in these competitions now. I think they're great. So the next one, it was the competition for the Sky Dweller. Boom! I bought 3 tickets and won.
And the winner is Stuart Carter. He won our last competition. I can't believe it. Wow, congratulations, Stuart. Oh my word. Twice.
Unbelievable. It was the competition with the same guys. Unbelievable. Lovely bloke. This time I drove up there, and this time it was, I think it was during lockdown, and I was a bit naughty and drove up to Manchester to pick up the Sky Dweller. And when I was driving up there, someone committed suicide and drove into a bridge on the motorway, and the road was shut, so I got stuck in lots of traffic. But eventually got up there, picked up the watch, saw the guys. They took me out to lunch, so it was great. So I now had a Batman and a Sky Dweller. It was the Blue Dial Sky Dweller. Amazing.
Hi guys, I just want to congratulate Stuart Carter on winning the Rolex Sky Dweller competition. A massive well done to him. Stuart did win one of our last competitions, last year it was, and he's been a returning customer ever since. So it just goes to show you do have a great chance of winning every time you enter.
Now I'm just going to say this. The Batman that I won, it didn't come with a card, like the original purchase card. It came with the Rolex warranty card when it comes back from a service. So it's a little bit, you think you want every box to be ticked, and it didn't come with the card, but it came with the warranty certificate. But it's not the same as having the original purchase card. But I was still very happy, obviously, but just to let you know. But I think, if you're giving away a watch, then you're probably going to want to give away the one that doesn't have the card, because it's not worth as much, because the card carries an extra, I don't know, 750 quid worth of value. I don't know. So it's a bit disappointing that, it didn't have that, but it's a minor. The Sky Dweller did come with the full box, the full card, everything. So that was great. And it was mint condition. So I was over the moon. Had the Sky Dweller for a while. Boy, that watch, it really does stand out. Some of these watches stand out, but that fluted bezel and on a 42mm, I believe it stands out quite a lot. Anyway, amazing. So I've only bought, a handful of tickets, and I've won 2 competitions. So now every time these companies are doing a competition, I'm buying a ticket or 2, because guess what? I'm up, maybe like, say, £30,000 or something, in terms of value. So I played my fair share of these watch competitions, but I didn't give anywhere near the money back that I'd won. Fair bit of time goes by, I didn't win any, and these guys, they were struggling to sell the tickets. Like, they would launch a competition, and then a month later they still hadn't sold all the tickets. So I looked elsewhere at other competitions, and I came across Lux Watch Supply, and they were banging out a competition like every week, sometimes even 2 a week. And so I started buying their tickets, and they also had a thing where if you bought, say, 30 tickets, you would get a 30% discount. If you bought 20 tickets, you'd get a 20% discount. 10 tickets, a 10% discount. And so if you do the math in terms of how much the watch is worth, how many tickets they're selling, and how many tickets you need to buy to give you a reasonable chance of winning, type thing, it worked out that, like, your odds, you're actually doing quite well getting a 30% discount on the ticket, because it massively improves your chances of winning having 30 tickets, but then also you've paid 30% less for them. So basically there was a little stint where I bought quite a few tickets. The one competition in particular, or sort of the first one where I went pretty big on it, was the Cartier Santos, because it's a relatively affordable watch at the time, say 6,000. I think he advertised it as being a £6,000 watch. So I bought £700 worth of tickets, and it gave me a 1 in 10 chance. And by buying £700 worth of tickets, I got quite, I got, the 25-30% discount on them. I won, you know, madness. So I won a £6,000 watch from buying £700 worth of tickets. So I'd never had a Cartier Santos before, and it was cool just to win another competition. Got to meet Brad. Here's a picture of us together. I'll play the video of him announcing me winning.
So there we have it, guys. There's our entries, there's our winners. Stuart Carter, if you're there, give me a shout. I wish that was Stuart Cartier, that would be amazing. If you're there, give us a shout, Stuart. You have just won yourself this. There you go. That's coming your way, my friend.
That was a great experience. But one thing I would say, this one also, it didn't come with a card. And that was a watch that Brad had actually purchased himself. And he said he couldn't find the card. Little bit disappointing. I think basically he's bought it himself. He doesn't want the card out there because it could ruin his relationship with wherever he's buying the watches from, from the AD. And fair enough. I can understand someone not wanting their relationship ruined. So that's it. 3 watches I've won now. I'm up, like £37,000 or £36,000, something like that. Loving the watches. Anyway, so a couple months go by, and then I see a competition for a Patek Aquanaut. Now this is a serious watch, and I think it was perhaps one of his first Patek competitions. And so I had to get some tickets, and I wanted to give myself a really good chance of winning. So I bought £2,000 worth of tickets. Quite a lot. And I think it gave me like a 1 in 22 chance of winning. So long story short, I won the competition.
Patek Philippe Aquanaut, of 1 winner. Good luck, people. Who is our winner? Bam, there we go. Lux LWS 61196, Stuart Carter from the UK. He won a Cartier with us and he went big on this one and it's paid off. Well done.
Absolutely unbelievable. So the Patek at the time, it was like he advertised it as a £50,000 watch. I think I went on Chrono 24 at the time, and the cheapest one was maybe like 45,000. When you win, he actually asks you, "Oh, do you want the watch or the money?" Because I figured out actually he doesn't have the watch a lot of the time he won't have the watch before someone's won the competition, because he doesn't know where the person who's going to win the competition lives. And if they live in America, he'll then source the watch in America and send it to them there. Otherwise, they have to pay like import tax and all these other things. So, I understand why they would do that. But I went and picked the watch up from Brad. Amazing. Now, there is the problem with this one as well, is I thought it came with the papers, and it did come with papers. But I later found out that, and maybe due to my lack of experience in watches, that the papers that I had, although it was on a nice card piece of paper, it was actually a photocopy. And then I later found out that the guy who Brad had got the watch from, he never actually got the original papers, because the AD that he got the Patek from, they hold on to the papers for a year to sort of discourage the person from reselling it. Well, it obviously didn't discourage this person, because he resold it within a month or two of having it. But it was a brand new dated AP, so I can't fault him for that. And I had a photocopy of the papers, and I went to a shop, and I was curious like how much they would offer me for it. I was just curious. I didn't actually intend to sell it, but because the papers were what they called fake, it turned out just to be a photocopy. But I guess as far as they're concerned, they're fake. They scared me, and like, this watch could be fake. You need to take it to Patek, get them to look at it. So I took the watch to Patek. They confirmed it was genuine. They confirmed that it was a photocopy of the actual certificate. So that was happy days, and gave me peace of mind. So I had a real Patek. Now, a funny twist of the story is, so I don't actually have these watches anymore. Obviously, we're talking going back to 2019, and the last one that I won was 2021. So for those of you who don't know, I'm massively into crypto, and I basically Bitcoin was starting to move, Ethereum was starting to move. So I sold them at various times, sort of FOMO'd into crypto. But the good thing is that I ended up making quite a lot of money in Ethereum and Bitcoin, and that's allowed me to continue collecting watches and live with a degree of financial freedom. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. Now, interesting thing is though, is with the Patek, I actually when I won that, it it was valued around about 45,000. But what's interesting is Brad, he did another Patek competition, and or the guy at Lux Watch Supply, and he did another Patek competition, but he was struggling to get hold of the Patek Aquanaut that he'd done the competition for. So he texted me and messaged me and said, "Stuart, would you be interested in selling me back your watch?" So I said, "Yeah, sure. Like, how much are you thinking?" And he said 60,000. I said, "Sure, let's do it." But then I didn't hear from him for like maybe like a week, and in during this week, the two Pateks that were on Chrono 24 that were in England, they were no longer there, and now the cheapest one was like 71,000 or something. And I just really didn't sort of want to sell it below what I thought it was, what I should get. First of all, I didn't want to sell it anyway. Second of all, 60 seemed like a good price, but then a week goes by and all of a sudden the cheapest one on the internet is like 71 to 3,000. So I said, "Brad, look, I really don't want to sell it, but the lowest I could let it go for is 63,000. He's like, "Well, I'm not really happy that the price has gone up, but okay." So he sent me the money. We met up. I gave him the watch. Yeah, that's what happened. That's how I won 4 watches. So moral of the story is, obviously I got lucky, but it's like, because I got lucky on that first one, it enabled me to be brave and buy a lot of tickets for the other ones. And then when you buy a lot of tickets for the other ones, you really do increase the chances of you winning quite a lot. There was only a couple other competitions where I put relatively big money down and didn't win. There was a couple times that I did put, say, like buy like a grand's worth of tickets and I didn't win. So, but overall, I've been very lucky, and the fact I was able to sell the AP for, not the AP, sorry, the Patek Aquanaut, the one here in the picture, for 63,000. Man, that was awesome. And yeah, that helped me get my Vacheron and things like that. So that's the story, guys. Like, subscribe, tell me what you think. Any questions, I will happily answer them. And if there's a lot of questions about this, because maybe I've missed things, I can happily do a follow-up video. But I hope the extra videos throughout me talking show you, that it's real. People do win these competitions. Yeah, like, subscribe, feel free to leave a message. And yeah, that's how basically I won 4 watches. And do you know what? I wish I could still have them, because it was cool, but crypto was starting to fly up. I had to sell them, and I don't regret in a way selling them, because I made quite a lot of money from the old crypto, and it's allowed me to get even cooler watches. So yeah, but thanks a lot, and I'll see you in the next one.